Hello everyone. Okay, so let's start our today's workshop. So before starting, let me introduce myself. I am Simran Bhardwaj and currently I'm a second year B Tech in Computer Science student at JP Institute of Information Technology, Noida, Sector 128, and I'm also a web developer coordinator at DSC. So basically, our today's workshop is going to be completely on the basics of HTML. So it would be great if you all can let me know, like, do you know anything about HTML or not, or like you are a complete beginner, or have you? Okay, because this is going to be a complete session for beginners. We are actually going to teach web development from scratch. Okay, so let me tell you what we will be able to do at the end of this workshop is, because this is what the most interesting part is. So today we will learn how we can host our website. Okay, I hope you can understand what hosting means. Like, we will be able to generate a URL for our website so that anybody can access it anywhere. Like, if you have seen our Hacktoberfest website on GitHub, so there was a URL for it. So we basically just hosted it on Netlify. So this is what we will be able to do at the end of this workshop. Okay, so let's start. Okay, like, are you on your systems, or like you are going to note down the tags or what? Like, can you just let me know? Because it would be great if you are on your systems so that you can check it on your systems too.
Can we use Visual Studio Code?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. This is what I'm going to use also. I hope my screen is visible to you all.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay, so what we are going to do is, as we will be hosting our website on Netlify, so for that, let's be like a little bit arranged. So let's create a folder first. Okay, can you let me know, like, are you all aware about the command line system? Because we will also be working with Git. If you don't know, so you can watch our previous videos on YouTube. But if you are aware of GitHub, then definitely you will be able to host your website today itself. Okay, so let's get started. Firstly, like, just to keep all the things arranged, I have just created a folder. Now what we are going to do is, you can open any of your text editor, whichever you want, whichever you are having on your system. Okay, now do the very first basic thing, that is create a file and save it in that folder that we just created. Okay, and the basic thing is that we are going to use the extension .html because this is what the extension of an HTML file is, and it is a kind of instruction that use the name of the HTML file as index, because as we will be hosting on Netlify, so it only executes the index.html file. So keep the name of the file as index and keep the extension as .html. Now the very basic thing that we are going to do in our HTML file, okay, let's declare. Okay, so the very first thing that we are going to do, okay, let me introduce you a little bit about HTML. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. What it means is that we are going to write some tags or some obviously tags, so that the computer can understand and execute them, right? So this is what actually markup language means. So this is what we are going to do today. So the very first thing that we are going to declare is this doc type HTML. Okay, so this basically defines that the type of our document is going to be HTML. Now let me tell you that this HTML is not case sensitive at all, so you can write down all the text in any case. Okay, now the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to define the HTML tag, which means that now all the tags we are going to write down, they are going to be HTML1. Now we are going to divide the whole HTML code into two parts. That is, one is the head one, that is head tag, and the another section we are going to create is the body section. So all the headings we will be putting in the head section, and the whole body, which means the whole content of our website or the web page, we are going to put it inside the body tag. Now inside head tag there is another tag called title tag. Okay, and it is actually supposed to be put inside the head tag. Now I would like to, okay, what we are going to do is I would like to tell you like what is the difference between if you put something inside the head tag. For example, if I put over here inside the head tag forms, and inside the title I'm going to put like filling the form. So like what the difference you are going to see in your web page. Okay, you guys know how to execute an HTML file. You just have to open it in your browser, that is index.html. Okay, so as you can see, okay, are you able to see this, that is filling the form, that is the content that we put inside the title tag. It is displayed on the title bar of a web browser. So like you are maybe able to understand what is the work of title tag is. Okay, so now we are going to learn the heading tags, that is h1 to h6. So h1 is going to, and yeah, the most important thing, that HTML is basically used to display the content and CSS is used to beautify it. So HTML is not going to do anything other than just displaying the whole content. So there are so many ways to display the content, And the very first thing is we are going to learn the heading tags, that is h1, h2, h3 up till h6. So h1 is going to display the text in the bigger font, and h6 is the smallest one. Okay, like you can test it out in your systems. And yeah, the another thing is that we are using a forward slash. Like, these are basically the closing tags, which means that you need to close them too. And there are some tags which are just opening tags, like you don't need to close them. And that tag, that one of the tag is br, which is used to break the line. So like, let me show you the difference. Like, heading tag in itself has used a break already, but even if you want, okay, let's just type it. So you can see that they are coming parallelly in the same line, but if we want them to be in the separate line, so we can use a tag br, and it is an opening tag, like you don't need to close it with the forward slash. So you can see what the difference we can see. Now the another thing is, there is an another tag, that is pre. Now what pre does is, pre actually keeps it as it is. Whatever you put it inside, it displays it exactly like that. Means all the spaces are counted, each and everything is counted, whatever you put inside the pre tag. So over here you don't need to put a br tag, because pre tag in itself displays everything whatever you put as it is inside it. Now, other than that, other than h1, h2 up till h6, there are some other tags also. Like, there is a strong tag. Like, you can just try them out. So it is going to display your text in bold. There is an another tag em. Okay, so it displays the text in italic. Rather, you will be learning all these things in CSS, which we will be covering in our another upcoming 3 days workshop. So you can check these tags out. Now the another thing that we're going to talk about is the most important three tags. That is the P tag, div tag, and the span tag. Actually, they are so important, like we will be using them most of the time. Now what the difference between them is, okay, to explain you the difference, I need to put on some style. We will be covering this in our upcoming session, so you don't need to worry about them, but for now I need to use this. So yeah, this is what I wanted to explain you. Like, whatever we have put inside the P tag, which means paragraph tag. So as you can see that there is a space, like there is a break line which paragraph tag automatically gives you. And inside the div tag, whatever we have put, you can see that background color is actually covering the whole page. And whatever we have put inside the span tag, it is only applying all the properties only till the content is there. Like, so when you will be creating any web page, you will be able to understand when to use what. Like paragraph automatically gives you the break line before and after the content, and div cover like applies the properties to the whole, and span only to the content that is there inside it. So this was it. For displaying the content, you can use p, div, and span tag. Now the another thing, the another tag that we are going to learn is anchor tag. So this is used to create links on our web page. So for that, for example, you want to create a link in your website which can direct you to the web page google.com. So what we are going to do is copy the URL of google.com. Okay, google.co.in. So what we are going to do is inside the anchor tag, we are going to use the attributes. A is a tag, A is the anchor tag, and href, which is called hypertext reference. Over here we are going to put the URL of wherever we want to be directed. So let's paste that URL inside the href. Okay, and over inside the anchor tag, we are going to put the text that we want to be displayed in our web page. For example, click here to go to google.co.in. Okay, so let's save it and let me show you what happens. So you can see that this is the text which is displayed, or which will be displayed in your on your website, and as you will click on it, it will direct you to the link that you just put in inside your href. So I hope that anchor tag is clear. Now what we are going to do is we are going to learn how we can create forms so that we can take input from the users. Okay, because Netlify also provides you the service that you can get the responses from the users. So we can put a form in our website and we can make it active. So for that, let's see how we can create a form. So for that, we are going to use the tag form. Now inside that, okay, let's take a reference like what we will be creating, right? So let's say we want in our form that it should provide us an option which can take the name as an input, then the email of the person, and just a submit button. Okay, so let's create this first and then we will go further. So for that, what we are going to do is let's type name. So let me show you parallelly what it will be displaying. Okay, so I have written name inside my form. So how it is displayed over here, you can see. Now we want that there should be a box so that it can take some input from the user. For that, we are going to use the tag input. Okay, and inside the input, so input is a tag, but we are going to use some attributes to define the properties of the input tag. So the very first attribute that we are going to use is that is the type text, the type attribute. So what it defines is there are 4 types which you can put. That is first one text, then radio. So I will be showing you, okay, radio, checkbox, and the submit. Okay, so we are going to put, because as we want to input the name, as we want input name from the user, so it is going to be a string or just a plain text. So we are going to put the type as text. and then we are going to use br, okay, so that it the next field that we will be entering, it comes in the next line. Now the next field that we want from the user is the email. Okay, for email it is also going to be a text type, or either you can also put email, type email. Now let's see what the output is. So as you can see that we have created two fields, okay, which are ready to take the input. Now the next thing that we want is we want a submit button, so that the user can click on it and we can get the inputs. Okay, for that we are going to use the tag which is button, and its type we are going to use as submit, because we are creating a submit button, and inside this button tag we are going to write down the name that we want to be printed on our button. Rather, if you want, you can change it to send. Okay, so we have created a form. Now for example, maybe you have seen these details to be displayed, like you want these details to be displayed with some border and some text. Okay, let me show you. So there is a tag which is called field set. Okay, I will, like, you will be able to see what it does. So we are going to give it a title, and to give the title inside the field set we use a tag called legend, and inside it we write down the title. For example, you can type contact form, because it's a kind of contact form. So you can see how it is being getting displayed. Like you can see it has created some border and it is displaying this contact form in the middle of this border. Okay, so, and if you want to put this contact form in the center, so you can use a center tag. Okay, we can do that same with the CSS properties too. Okay, but for now you can see what exactly field set does. Okay, so what I've basically done is, like, I have just pasted it inside the field set so that you can just see what the difference is. Okay, so yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. So this is what the field set does to your form. Now the another properties are, like, I'm going to tell you one more attribute that we can use. Okay, two more attributes that we can use inside the, like, with the input tag, and that one attribute is value. So what it does is, for example, you can specify to the user what you're supposed to give input in that particular field. For example, in the name input, what you want is, you want the user to know that you have to type your name. So you can give it a value, and what it will be doing is, as you can see, it is not permanent. Like, the user can rewrite it, but as it will be opening the form, this, whatever you will be typing inside the value attribute, it will be displayed. That is like, type your name, so that user can understand what you want the user to type in that particular field. So this is what the work of value is. Now the another attribute is name. So we will be using it because we want it to get connected with the Netlify forms. So for that, we are going to use the attribute name. Now what name does is that it gives a unique name. Rather, the name can be same, but it just provides a name to that particular field. Like, wherever the input will be coming, like, we want it to be specified with a name. So we are going to give the name field as name, and inside the emails input, we are going to give the name as email. You will be able to see when we will get it connected with the Netlify forms. Rather, it will not be displayed, like, the name will not be displayed. It is just for your own reference. So we are done creating the form, but I would like to explain you the other types also. That is, if you remember, I told you that there is an another type, that is radio. So let's see how it works. For example, you want in your form to to take the input as the year. Like, you want to know which year the student is from. So for that, you can put on 4 options. Okay, so how we are gonna do this? So we are gonna take the input, okay, so we are going to provide 4 inputs to the user, okay, with the type of radio. Okay, for example, 1, okay. So I hope it is visible to you all. Like, it has created a radio button, okay, which you can select according to the year you are from. So this is what the radio button looks like. Okay, so this is how the radio buttons look. Now another type is checkbox. So it is exactly the same, but it just puts a tick rather than filling the circle. Okay, so as you can see, it just put a tick. So we have covered almost all the type. Okay, so now let's make it a little bit interactive, because as we are going to host it, so let's make it a little bit clear. Okay, let's just keep these 2 fields, that is name and the email. Okay, so we want in our website that user can input name and the email and the SAM button. Okay, so now the another thing that we are going to do is we need to define some more attributes inside the form tag. Okay, because as we will be deploying it on Netlify, so for that we need to add some more attributes inside it. Okay, so for that we are going to add 3 more attributes. Okay, you can check it out on their website. Okay, if anyone is having doubt, we will be covering it at the end of the session. Okay, so like here is netlify.com. You can also visit that website, but for now you can also check out what you need to put on. Okay, so we are going to put the attributes that you need to put inside the form in order to make it active on Netlify. So the first one is name. We are going to give a name to this form, that is contact. Then another attribute that we are going to use is post. There are 2 methods, post and get. You can get, like, you can explore it on your own. Now the another attribute is data Netlify, and we are going to put it to true. You can see these attributes like this format on the docs of Netlify. Rather, this is going to work, so you can just add these 3 attributes in your form, and there must be a name attribute in your input tags, and we are just ready to deploy it on Netlify. Okay, are you guys done till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. um are you guys aware of command line and git?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Please inform.
Okay, so for now you can just follow whatever I'm doing. Rather, you can check out our previous videos on YouTube in which we have covered um, all the things about Git and GitHub. Okay, so for now, if you want to deploy a website, because this is going to be a today's task also, we will be providing you a Google form where you have to,
Ma'am,
yeah,
please would you provide the previous YouTube link in the chat box
yeah,
if it is
sure,
available?
yeah, sure. Hardik, are you here, or any one of you? You can just provide them the
Yes,
YouTube link.
ma'am. I
Okay,
will do it. Don't worry.
okay,
I'll do
okay.
it.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so for now, if you are not aware of command line, so you can just follow whatever I will be doing. Okay, so we are done creating our HTML file. Now, what we want is we want to deploy it. We want to host it so that everybody can access that with just one URL. Okay, you must be wondering that this form actually looks so bad. I know that. But yeah, in the upcoming videos, we will be in our upcoming workshops, we will be covering CSS. Okay, so you can apply that later on. But for now, it is actually your today's task also, that you have to deploy it on Netlify, and you have to provide us the link, okay, in the Google form that we will be providing you at the end of the workshop. So I hope that you all are done till here. Okay, I hope everybody is done, because now we are going to go with the command line. So you need to go with me if you want your website to be deployed correctly. Okay, so for that, what you all do first thing is that is sign up on Netlify, and also sign up on GitHub if you are not. So get yourself signed up on Netlify and GitHub and get login over there. So this is for the very first thing that you all need to do. Okay, may I know the status of all of you?
Mom, just wait a minute. I was just completing it.
Yeah, sure. Everybody just get yourself signed up and log in on both the websites, GitHub and
Yes, ma'am.
Netlify. Okay, till then, let me tell you some more things, some more tags that we can use inside the form, and that is select. So what it is going to do is, in this you can provide some options from which the user can select. For example, we can create the year field with this tag also, that is select. So inside select there is another tag that we have to use, that is option, and inside the option we are going to provide option. For example, 1. Okay, so like we can provide the options inside the select tag of the years. Like as you may have seen in so many websites, like they ask for the state of your country, in that they provide you all the name of all the states. So it is something like that. Okay, so as you can see, that over here we have got a list of options and we can choose anything from. So this was the another tag that you can also add in your form field, in your form tag. Okay, are you guys done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, great. So is there anyone like who want me to wait a little bit? Okay,
Mom, 1 minute.
yeah, sure.
Yes, ma'am, I've completed.
Oh, okay, so I have got some responses that they are done. Okay, so let's move ahead because actually our workshop is also getting extended a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead. As I told you that, as I told you to create a folder. So what we are going to do is, you can open your terminal And if you don't know where the terminal is, if you're on the Mac, you can type terminal in your search bar. Okay, and if you're on Windows or Linux, you can type command prompt. Okay, command prompt. I think inside Linux also it is called terminal. So you can just search for it inside your system and can open it. I hope you all are working with me because we are going to work with command line.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, so let's follow the commands with me if you're not aware of using command line interface. So let's do the okay, type the very first command, that is cd desktop, and remember all the things are so case sensitive, so take care of the spaces, take care of the cases. So D is capital in the desktop and there is a space between cd and desktop. Okay, so type this very first command, cd desktop. Okay, now the next thing, we will go inside our folder, that is experiment. For that we are going to use the command cd, then space, then we are going to type the name of the folder that we created on our desktop. Okay, so now we are inside our experiment folder. Now what we are going to do is, okay, so we are inside the experiment folder. Now go to your GitHub. Okay, go to your GitHub account. Now on your GitHub account, you will be able to see this green button with new. So click on it because we are going to create a new repository on our account and give it a name like forms. Like, okay, you can give it a name contact form. Okay, so this is what we are going to keep the name of the repository, and it's your choice, you want to keep it public or private, but for now I'm going to keep it private. Okay, now let's just click on the create repository. Okay, so we are done creating a repository on our GitHub. Now you will be able to see a URL. Okay, so you just copy this. Okay, you can copy this by clicking over here. Now what we are going to do is, over here on your terminal, now come back to your terminal and type the command git init. Okay, so it will be showing you this initialized empty git repository if you are typing the command correctly. Okay, now what we are going to do is, we are going to add our file. So what is the file that we just created inside our experiment folder? That is index.html. So type the name of the file, git add index.html. And remember, I'm telling you, remember the spaces, remember that, type all the commands with in whichever case they are. And all,
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम
yeah.
मैम git init टाइप करा तो एक एरर आ रहा है कैन नॉट बी रिकॉग्नाइज्ड एज इंटरनल और एक्सटर्नल कमांड.
Okay, for that actually you need to set up. Okay, you are working for the very first time.
यस मैम.
Okay, so you just wait for a minute. Okay, can you tell me how many are new here? Like who are working on the huh? Who are working for the first time on command line, because they need to set up Git. Because I guess there are so many people. I'm going to share the commands with you, but what you have to do is just remember the email that you have registered on GitHub with, and the password of it. Okay, then it is going to be super easy for you. So you just have to type some commands. I'm going to share them in the chat box. Okay, so this is the first command, that is git space config space dash dash without giving any space, then global space user dot name space, then inside the double inverted commas type your name. You can type your complete name or your first name or whatever you want. So this is the first command that you have to type in your terminal. And this is the second command that you have to type. Okay, if anyone is getting any error or something like that, you can share with us. Okay, so are you done typing these two commands?
Yes, ma'am, I've done these.
Okay, if you are having any trouble, you can let us know in on our WhatsApp group. We will help you in installing it. Okay, but for now we are going to move on. Okay, so okay, Hardik sir, you can share the link of the WhatsApp group. Okay, so let's come back to the terminal who are done or whose terminal is working fine. Okay, so we are going to add the file that we added the code in. So git add index.html. Now we are going to commit the changes by using the command git commit space dash m, and inside it we are going to just give a kind of comment, that is contact form. Okay, if it is showing no such directory, okay, have you just opened your terminal? Like, you can use the command, can you use the command pwd, or like you must be able to see over here, like I can see experiment. It means I'm inside the experiment directory. Okay, if you are inside your C directory, you can type this, and then after that you can type the rest of the command that I just typed, that is you can start with cd desktop then. Okay, you can ask your doubts on the group itself if you face any problem. Okay, so we are done committing the changes, and you can also check it out by using the command get status, but it is showing that there is a file which we have not included. So you can use the command git add -a, so it is going to add all the files which are there inside your directory. Okay, then let's commit the changes again. Okay, so we are almost done. Now what we are going to do is, if you all remember, we just copied some address of the new repository that we just created. So now we are going to create a remote where we are going to push our code into. So let's create the remote git remote add origin. Okay, if you don't know what all these commands mean, you can watch our previous videos on YouTube. Okay, so let's paste the address that we just copied. Now by typing the command git remote, you can get to know that yes, we have created a remote. Basically, remote means the location where we are going to push our code into. So now we have created the remote, so we are going to push our code. So git push origin master. If you don't know about branches, you can just check out the video. So git push origin master, because our current branch is master that we were working on. So we are just done pushing our code. So now in your GitHub account, you can see the code that is index.html, and the commit that we added, that is contact form. So it is displayed over here. So as you can see that we are done pushing our code in the repository. Okay, are you guys done? Like, is there anyone, like even a single person, who is done till here? Okay, is there anyone who is done till pushing the code? Yeah, sure. Is there any command, like you can let me know if you are stuck on any of the command? Okay. If anyone is stuck anywhere, you can let us know. We will try our best to solve your problems.
Ma'am, after entering both the email and the username commands, it is again showing that it is not recognized as an internal or external command. Now, what to do?
Okay, have you installed Bash?
I think not.
It's okay, you just don't worry. We will put this video on YouTube so you can continue it. Okay, and we will be sharing. Um, we will be sharing each and everything on the WhatsApp group. Okay, if you face any problem about installing Git Bash, rather we have already explained each and everything in our YouTube video, so you can check that out. And if you still face any problem, you can let us know in the WhatsApp group. Okay, but for now, I don't think we can do anything with this.
गाइस कमांड लाइन का क्या चक्कर है ना कि कभी कभी पता नहीं होता है कि क्या एरर है. सीधा कट पेस्ट करो, ठीक है, गूगल पर और देख लो क्या प्रॉब्लम है. सबसे बेस्ट चीज़ है वही करना चाहिए, क्योंकि बहुत सारे एरर होते हैं. बाकी जब भी क्लियर ना हो तो हमें व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे पिन कर देना. आवर टीम विल क्लियर इट.
Okay, sir.
Okay, is there anyone who is done till pushing the code in the repository? Okay, and okay. So Ayush is done. Anybody else? Okay, so we actually cannot like waste a lot of our time. So we are just moving ahead. So we are done pushing our code in the repository. Now what you need to do is you just go on netlify.com, get yourself, I hope you all are already signed up over there. Now you just log in there. Okay, over there you must be able to see an option that is new site from Git. Now over here inside the continuous development option, we are going to click on GitHub. Okay, so now what we are going to do is, I cannot see the repository that I created. So we are going to do a little bit of configuration. So click on the configure the Netlify app on GitHub. So we are going to add the repository that we created. Okay, so as you will scroll down, so over here inside the select repositories, you can type the name of the repository that we just created, that is the contact form. So now it has been added. Now click on the save button. So we are done adding this contact form repository from GitHub or Netlify. So just click on it, and you don't have to touch any of the option, and just click on the deploy site. So now it has been published. So so this is the URL that the Netlify has generated for your website. Now as you can see that now by just clicking on this link, I'm able to access my website that we created. Okay, now let me tell you a little bit of settings. Like if anyhow you want to delete your website, so you can go in the danger zone, and from here you can delete the site. Now the next thing, if you want to change the if you want to change the name of the URL because it looks pretty weird, so you can go in the domain management, and inside it you can just rename it. Okay, so let's put on some another weird name, because all the usual names, they have already been occupied. So let's put on some the contact form by me. Okay, so I have changed the URL. So now the URL of my website has been changed. Now I can access, not just me but anybody can access it with this URL. Now you can just try the form also. If it shows you that is thank you, your form submission has been received, it means that your form is working great. Now for that, right now we haven't done any setting. Remember, if you want to receive the inputs, what the user fills in the form, for that you need to do a little bit of setting, that is go to the forms in the Netlify, and over here you will see a form notification, because you need to add on something like where you want to receive the data that somebody will be filling in the form. Okay, so for that you just add any email ID where you want to receive the data. Like I will be showing you that how it will be mailing you the data. Okay, so over here I'm going to save the mail. Okay, so now my mail it has saved my mail. Now whatever data I will be filling in this, it will be mailing that data to me on my mail. Okay, so let me show you how it works. Okay, so as you can see that my form has been submitted. So let me check if I have got the mail or not. Okay, after saving now, I actually needed to refresh my website, which I actually forgot to. So let me see if it works now. Okay, so as you can see that I have got a mail. If you remember, I told you to write an attribute that is name. So this is what now you might be able to observe, that the name that you added, the name attribute that you added in your HTML file, this Netlify is showing it over here. Okay, just to identify so that you can get to know that which field it is. Like if only Simran would have been written on the mail, so you might wouldn't be able to notify that it is a name or what it is. So this is what the use of the name attribute is. So they are printed here in the mail, that as you can see. Okay, so if you are wondering that why that year isn't shown, it is because we haven't added any name in it. If we will be giving it a name attribute, so we will be getting it in our mail too. Okay, so as I told you in the beginning that this is what we would be learning, that is to host our website. And now you can share this link with anybody and anyone can access it. And if you want you can try accessing the my website with the URL. And if any one of you have created, you can share in the chat box. Aditri ma'am, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We are almost done with our today's workshop. So is it possible if you can share the Google form link here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Just a second.
Okay. Okay.
Till
So
then, can you brief the task to them?
yeah. So if anyone is facing any problem, you can just let us know here. Or if anyone is done, so that we can appreciate. Yes, this video will be posted on YouTube. Even if you are new to command line or Git and GitHub, they are also posted on a YouTube channel. You can just check them out. Can you brief it a little bit? But it is showing enter URL. Where? Like, can you explain it?